Hi, brothers and sisters. Well, I looked on my YouTube thing and I noticed that five or six of you guys do watch the video. And so it's worth it then. If only a few people watch it, then it's worth it for me doing it. I know that some of you really have different learning styles, and so it's better for you and easier for you if I go over things than it is just if you read it on your own. So we'll keep doing this until nobody wants to do it. First off, your change essays. I was impressed by very, very many of them. I was. In fact, there were 4 A essays and 11 um, B essays, and that's great. And if you got an A or a B, you cannot revise. But if you got a C or lower and really want to get that grade up, then you may do that. And if you do, then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the revision guidelines. And for some reason, these things are locked and I can't change the dates on it. So I'll just tell you the dates for each time. But we do have the final essay revision policy. And what you're going to have to do and this will, even if you're not planning on revising this essay, you might want to revise another. And so I'm just going to mention to you that you can only revise each essay once, and you have to have a cover letter as the first page of the resubmitted assignment. And it's going to argue, I really, really worked hard on this, and this is what I changed. And then that's what you're going to do. The letter is an argument that you deserve more points based on the additional work you've done to improve the essay, and then you're going to give me evidence. So this of exactly what you did. And I would suggest extremely strongly that if you do decide to revise, you schedule a Zoom conference with me, because I can go over specifically, okay, this is what you needed to change here and here. And then down here, it won't let me tell you when the different dates are due. So I'll just have to tell you on my announcements. And in my announcements, I'm telling you that you need to have it done by February 9th. They're due on or before from February 9th, and I won't accept revisions after that. Okay, so that being said, let's go ahead to the rhetorical analysis. I hope you've all found a speech that you really like, because you're going to be really working hard with it. And so I hope that one of those you really liked. Remember, you have to pick it from that list. But there's such an extensive list that you'll do just fine with it. Okay, let's go. Then you're going to be talking about, you're going to analyze 2 essays. And let me mention to you with that is that one of them is a really good one and one of them is not. So make sure that you know that, all right? That one of them is good and one of them is not. So what you're going to be doing is looking for them. The big clue that you can tell of whether it's going to be a good one or not is from the thesis. Because if the thesis says this is what the essay says, this is what the speech says, and then I agree with it or I disagree with it, that's not a rhetorical analysis. What you're doing with the rhetorical analysis is it's an effective speech or it's not an effective speech, and this is why. So that's how you can tell. And then you're going to practice with introducing and integrating sources, and we call it the 3 I's or the sandwich approach. And what you're going to do is you are going to mention who it is that talked about it, and you're going to have the date as you do that, okay? And this brings out, and you guys need to look at this and pay attention, that you can't just do a whole bunch of quotations and make it be your essay. 80% at least of the essay must be your own words. So if the Turnitin score is higher than 20%, then we will talk about how you can change that and revise it so that it will not be that much. So make sure that you only have one idea per quotation, and then you're talking a lot for your own ideas for the rest of the time. Decide what you want to focus on, shorten it, so it fits the focus. So whenever you have a topic sentence in your paragraph, if it is about watching society change, for example, then your topic sentence is going to be one of the strategies that Lady Gaga uses is like maybe illusion, and then you're going to talk about how she uses illusion. Okay, so one idea, and that's all you're going to do, not a whole bunch. So it gives you an example of how you would change this. Okay. And then make sure that it fits the focus and everything. So read that over very carefully. That's the first of many assignments you're going to have on how to integrate sources. Okay. And then what else are you doing? Okay, let's go down here. That's due the middle of the week. And then at the end of the week, you're going to do pronouns in third person. And that's very important because, in fact, many of you I mentioned on your essays, don't use you. Oh, come to think of that, I hope that my blocking off one part of your essay and giving you extensive grammar concerns is helpful to you. I hope that helps you think, oh, well, maybe I need to watch my sentence structure. Or maybe I need to watch making my subjects and verbs agree. I hope you realize, and do that for the rest of the essay. Because I didn't mark all of the grammar mistakes, only in that paragraph. And then make sure that you analyze your speech. Let's look at that one, because that one's important. You're going to use this as you write your essay. This is where you're going to get your information. This is an example of how they did it. But the first paragraph, second paragraph, etc. All the different paragraphs, what they say. And then after you do that, then you're going to talk about the rhetorical devices. So you're going to talk about allusions, which is very important. Okay. And you're talking about it doesn't have allusions. What would be a good allusion for it to do? Remember that an allusion is talking about to somebody's connections to others' ideas, historical events, or etc. And then you're going to do comparisons. And like I say, you're going to be using this to do your essay. So make sure that you are very serious about metaphors and similes, repetition, parallelism, allusions, and any rhetorical questions. Make sure you look for those, because that's what's going to give you a good grade, is finding these different rhetorical devices that need to be, that are effective or non-effective. If you ever have any questions about this, just ask me. I really do not mind at all not getting emails and answering them. I really don't. Okay, so what else are we going to do? That looks like you're going to analyze your speech, and then this feedback to the instructor. If you have whatever comments you have that would help me be a more effective teacher, I take them very seriously. So just if whatever you do, I will try to try to adjust. It's if she grades too hard, I probably won't adjust that much because I'm trying to teach you how to be good writers, and it doesn't do you any good if I say, oh, you did such a great job and you didn't. What can I say? All righty. So what else do we need to talk about? I think that's it. Again, if you have any questions or concerns or problems, with a quotation from Elder Dorf, I love. And it's don't get discouraged if you stumble at times. So if you're stumbling a little, and not too many of you are, because a lot of you have A's in the class still. But if there's any kind of a time when you get behind in the class or something, don't get discouraged. Just keep trying. In the gospel context, try to believe, try to learn of God. In our context, it is Try to do all of the English, and do all of the English assignments, etc. And ask me if you have questions. You guys are not utilizing me the way some of the people have in the past. In the past, I've had some people who email me like at least 3 times a week. I haven't gotten that many this time from you guys. That means you know what you're doing, right? Okay, or else you're too frozen if you're up there in Rexburg. Your fingers haven't thawed out enough to email me. So any questions or concerns or problems, just let me know and I will do my best to try to help. Take care, all right?